Our third timeline spans the first half of the 20th century. Inventors, adventure seekers, imaginative thinkers, and transportation pioneers led the way.
My white dress glistened as I watched the children play from my bedroom. This poem drifted out of my mind. A bird came down the walk. He did not know I saw. He bit an angleworm in halves and ate the fellow raw. My friend Thomas would say, Emily Dickinson, you are like a little shadow, hiding, a little flower, not sure it was spring yet. I became a rather famous poet. My words were quiet, but strong just the same.
Henry Ford, you better know how to put that back together, my father would always say when I took apart a walk as a child. I couldn't resist taking mechanically operated things apart. Wheels and engines and all that holds them together is my gift to the world. And I would imagine everyone here today used that gift to get here.
The Girl Scout cookie craze is in full swing now. Have you bought a box yet? I started something that would be known throughout the world, even though some people thought I was foolish to try founding such a big organization. Meeting the founder of Boy Scouts in England set me on my green and brown brick road to success. Today, instead of being called Juliet Graydon Lowe, I am simply referred to as the Girl Scout Lady.
Vanish, gone without a trace. The newspaper headlines scream, "Where's Amelia Earhart?" I have wanted to circumvent the globe following the equator, and now I was missing. Perhaps that was inevitable. My life had been an adventure from early on. I was the kind of girl who loved to break records. I broke speed and highest elevation records for females. I was what you might call a daredevil. But being a woman made interest in my achievements that much more incredible. I just wasn't supposed to be able to fly like a man.
Just as the man in the fairy tale who turned everything he touched to gold, with me, everything's turned to newspaper clamor. Maybe partly because even today, some of the world's best mathematicians don't understand my theory of relativity. Anyone out in the audience care to make clear E equals MC squared? I've always had the knack to stupefy everyone. Maybe my secret to success is besides being Albert Einstein's scientist, I also loved other things like music and the beach. With a pencil, I was able to create a world of fantasy, laughter, and happiness. The name Walt Disney today is synonymous for Mickey, Donald, good and evil, and children excitedly shouting, "I'm going to Disney World." I am proud to entertain generations of kids through my work, my creations, my theme parks, and my visions of animation. It's a wonderful world I created, the world of Walt Disney.
There are some famous streets in the world. Wall Street, Pennsylvania Avenue, and the Champs-Élysées in Paris. But just possibly, the most famous street in the world is Sesame Street, a street based on my imagination. I knew early on that I loved to perform and people loved watching me. The lights would flash on. Calm, joyful, and full of excitement, creations like Kermit, Miss Piggy, and Animal became associated with my name, Jim Henson.
In my childhood, I felt like a dark, ebony cloud floating fearfully, waiting for a storm to blow through. I seemed to be a disappointment to both my parents. "Eleanor, you are such an ugly duckling," child lamented my mother, but in time I turned such sadness into a kind, sweet heart. And now, smart, intelligent soul, tall, skinny, shy, and happy, I enter a room, a presidential room. Eleanor Roosevelt, First Lady. How does that sound?
December 7th, 1941 is a day that will live in infamy. That began my radio broadcast to the American people after Japan attacked our naval base in Hawaii. Imagine another country making a surprise attack on North Carolina. What will Franklin Roosevelt do, everyone pondered. As president, I made many important decisions, including how to end the Great Depression. Many times during my 4 terms as president, I wondered what my cousin Teddy would have done in my position.
Who would have thought that 2 bicycle mechanics would make the world's first airplane? Well, the Wright Brothers did. I'm Wilbur Wright, the brother who kind of failed the first attempt at flight. We flipped a coin. I won, but then I lost to the laws of aerodynamics. 3.5 seconds in 1903 was still incredible, but then my younger brother tried. Together we showed the world that human beings were destined to soar above the planet. On a cold, blustery day in Kitty Hawk, the world became a little lighter.
There are over 600 flights a day departing out of Charlotte Airport alone. Every one of us can look skyward and see jet planes soaring 35,000 feet in the air. But when my brother and I grew up, the only thing we saw in the sky were birds. But the birds were about to have company. The Wright brothers would see to that. So next time you're looking out an airplane window, please appreciate that I dared to have a dream. The dream of Wilbur Wright to fly with the birds is now a reality for everyone.